Alongside Brent Hubbs, I'm Austin Price for the VolQuest.com stock report on this Georgia week. Stock up for you this week, Brent.
No, I think this one's pretty easy and pretty obvious. I'm going Hendon Hooker, the transfer quarterback. Honestly, Austin has just been the gift that keeps on giving for Tennessee. He's actually their second leading rusher at 458 yards. That's even taking in a bunch of sack yardage. 21 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, completing 69% of his throws. How could you not give a stock up to a guy whose stock is climbing up all kinds of draft boards? He has been a godsend to Josh Heupel in his first year.
For me, I'll go stock up the guy he throws to it, and has thrown to a lot the last few weeks. That's Cedric Tillman. I mean, over 30 catches, and closing on 40 on the year, Brent. This is a guy that when he first got here, literally it was so obvious what Tennessee was going to do. He only played in running plays, and he would come in to block. No longer the case. Throwing it to him quite a bit, including that trio of plays that got Tennessee in field goal range last week. So I'll go Cedric Tillman, stock up. Stock down for me, third down defense. Tennessee's been terrible the last 2 weeks. They've not been great all year, but the last few games have been atrocious. Even they make the Ole Miss. That's kind of really when it started. The kind of downward spiral on third down D. Can Tennessee find their way into just improving that? You're not going to be perfect. You're not deep enough to be perfect. But can you get off the field some? Tennessee's not able to get off the field at all. Stock down for you.
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback off that a little bit because this is a bit of the third down problem, and that's the problem that's been the Tennessee defense's issue for the last couple of years, and that's defending the middle of the football field. You look and teams are having a field day over the middle. The last 2 weeks, Tennessee's given up 500 yards passing over the middle of the field. Georgia's going to attack that with Bowers and that group of tight ends. It's a combination of things. You can't get home with a four-man pass rush. Your linebacker drops aren't good enough. Lack of speed at the safety position. Teams the last couple of weeks have really exploited Tennessee in the middle of the field. Got to be a stock down for me for this defense.
Stock stagnant for you is what?
I'm going to go out of the box here a little bit. I'm going to go Darnell Wright. And typically when we talk about stock stagnant, that's kind of a negative stat. But this is stock stagnant because nobody's talking about Darnell Wright. That's what you want an offensive lineman to be. He's been solid all year. Has he been great? I wouldn't say that. But a guy who was overweight, who really would look like he was, for a five-star guy, people were trying to label him a bust and all these other things a year ago. He's accepted that role at left tackle. He's thrived there. And I think he's had a really solid, stable year off the edge for Tennessee. So I'm going stock stagnant in a positive way for the big offensive lineman from West Virginia.
I'm going to go stock stagnant. Tennessee's penalties, because, in games they've won, they've been really disciplined. In games they've lost, not so much. So what happens this week against Georgia? You're going to win your last two. No disrespect to South Alabama and Vanderbilt, but total disrespect to South Alabama and Vanderbilt. You're going to win those last two. But this Georgia game, nobody's really picking you to win, but this is a chance to kind of make a statement about how far this program has come, compete in this game against the number one ranked Bulldogs. I think you've got to be, one, mistake-free as far as turnovers, but also penalty limited. You just can't – you're not going to be penalty-free more than likely, but the penalties have to be lessened. You just can't, go like you did at Alabama a few weeks ago and have 12. I think that's where it really hurts you. So I'll go, just stock stagnant the overall penalties because they've been up and down. And when they've been down, Tennessee's been good. He's Brent Hubbs. I'm Austin Price for the VolQuest.com stock report for this Georgia week.